If your doctor has offered you the option to have an induction, then you could expect to come to the hospital at a pre-designated time and come in, we start an IV, and we start to give you medication through the IV called Pitocin. And Pitocin is just a synthetic form of the hormone your brain naturally produces to put you in labor. It acts on your uterus and tells it to contract. And a lot of people are afraid of this hormone, but you shouldn't be, because it's natural. It's what your brain produces, and if it was bad, then we should just take that little center out of your brain that makes it. We just give it to your body if your brain's not doing it. So sometimes we can give it to people if their labor isn't progressing, we need to help them along. And sometimes we give it to people to start them from scratch, like we would in the case of an induction. So you shouldn't be afraid of Pitocin. It's not a bad thing. We just kind of take what nature would take a little more time doing and speed the process up, and it wouldn't necessarily hurt any worse during your labor to have Pitocin, because you're going to end up hurting just as bad with it as you would have without it if your brain was naturally producing it. You get to a point where your contractions are going to be very regular and very intense, whether we're giving it to you or whether your brain is producing it. And as far as being able to move throughout your labor, this is something you're going to have to talk to your midwife about, because it depends on what she would like you to do and also what the facility that you're delivering at allows. So when you're on Pitocin, you do need to be on the monitor continuously. So you wouldn't have the ability to be off the monitor, but depending on the facility you're delivering at, sometimes we have telemetry units, and you can walk around or get in the tub if your water's not broken and still be monitored while you're on Pitocin. The only other thing to remember when you're having your baby, whether being induced or not, is that everything is based on your baby's well-being. And it's really normal for babies to experience stress during labor. And there's acceptable forms and not acceptable forms of stress. So there's basically things that we can watch and usually intervene early with, and the baby's just fine. And there's other things that we need to act upon quickly. Like if the baby's heart rate dropped, we'd have to go back to the operating room and do an emergency C-section in some cases. So this is the importance of monitoring, and this, applies to your delivery whether you're being induced or whether you have spontaneous labor. It's always important to be monitored, and your ability to get around and move is all dependent on your baby's well-being. So if they're seeing signs of stress, they may put you on your side, and that's totally normal, because that's the position where your baby's going to get the most blood and oxygen. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask them on our Facebook page. I'd be happy to help you if I can, and recommend us to your friends and family too. And good luck with your labor and delivery process. Congratulations ahead of time.